What is up, guys, and welcome to a discussion of mine. I just also want to show some replays, but I want to talk about Onomats since I am an Onomat main. I'm actually glad that it got hit, so let's actually try to win games with it. I wish I have a second of this, though not really, but I don't know. As far as skills go, Onomata play is still better, and this is actually within the restrictions of that. But I don't know. I want to try out Sex a Weapon just cause. But I'm still trying to find a good way to make Onomats work. Right now, their biggest weakness is not having any good turn one. So they can draw some cards. I can play TTH because it's not worth running Head or Sister anymore. Maybe Head if you're playing Onomata play, but if you're not, don't play it. I can play the one Veil as a form of protection, and I can only play one because Cosmic helps me specifically with Sex a Weapon. I prefer if you play MST if you're gonna keep playing Onomata play. Go 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 Giant is good as it is the best to summon off with Golden Form, meaning he'll be at 4k attack, and he can negate a total of 3 times at least with that. So that's good. The other thing is that he activates on summon, so for cards that blow or bounce as a response, this is a better summon than going into Onomat, having a gloves in the graveyard, or having a coat and try to revive. He can at least revive every card but himself, which is good. So it's still some troublesome. Obviously, Dota the Draw is too much of good value. Any Gaga version is pretty much dead at this point because of Sistering Head. So more so for Gogos and Dota, they're the ones with the graveyard extension. And the extra deck, I still don't really know so much. All of these, of course, have value. Of course, I'm playing Roach. I'm playing Roach for that. It's just not to die, things like Thunder Dragons, and it works so well if I know I'm up against Synchro. It is just a good turn 1. Against Harpies, this is also just a way too good of a turn 1. And that's nice, at least here. Able to do turn 1 XC is still something, since I got my dirt copy of your topic with a ticket, and that's pretty good too. Bancho only if I summon the topics, there's that as well. Sadly, it only works on him. It's not as great of an extender, but he can still revive cards from grave. He's a good graveyard extender, but he has no stats. At least he can summon both of these from the hand, though he cannot summon. Can he summon? No, Subabas and Gagas. It's just a Subaba. If you ever wonder what are the Subaba cards, like, there's literally almost nothing. Like, these are our Subaba cards. They're all level 3s. They randomly have a rank 4. It's weird. You could add that. Like, it's weird. And Samurai is good to push lethal with bigger damage. And because when you summon Go Go Go, they both are in defense, so it helps for that double attack. I don't know if I should cut that Gaga for Malevolent Sin. And we're only really playing the Utopia because the skill gives us a Ray, and by the time we have the skill we can actually Utopia Ray. If we're in 1,000 or below, so there's another OTK. I'm still trying. I'm finding out ways to make it better. People are still trying to use the skill. I'm trying to just make sure a deck works for whatever skill you play, honestly. And with that, let's go with the replays from top bottom. At a certain point, we're probably gonna see non-Onomat replays. And I am in low rank because I haven't been playing for such a long time. So bear with me for these low ranks. This was just... oh, that was just very extremely weird one. He just sets with a Necro Valley. I didn't even bother actually checking what he was playing. I think he was playing Dark Lords. Because that's the one monster I got to see. Although, I don't get it. It's probably just a very random deck. But as opposed to me deciding not to commit on a XC summon that I could have, well, I don't want to really walk in the back row. So, yeah, I had that little mentality. And I had TTH to protect myself. So, yeah, in the end of the day, it was probably a garbage deck. Let's get into a replay I know I will talk more into. Because this is a mirror match. And I'm up against Tier 1 Onomats, which is funny, considering no-brainer I won. So, he went first, probably hesitant knowing that Tier 1 Onomats has a very stupid die roll decision. Like, whoever goes second pretty much wins. So yeah, he searched Bolt and not even Wind, but I guess. And then all he really does is Bouncer Pass. So yeah, that's okay, Bouncer Pass. A weird decision that I was trying to think if I didn't draw Dodo draw, since I wanted to draw it, is that if I could normal summon Utopic, tribute it to Golden, have Subaba activate, and Subaba can revive because Gold will just negate Bouncer. And the problem is, even if I go into Sin, it won't be lethal because Golden form only deals half the damage, and he'll be at 1500 at that point. Yeah, it's sad that that's not lethal. Even if he was able to deal the full 1500, it wouldn't have been lethal. It's sad. So instead, I went for a much safer approach since I drew Go Giant. Attempt to activate his effect if he even bothered, but he did. So our game plan is to just simply get rid of it. Luckily with Dodo the Draw we did draw into Treacherous, so that's good protection. He went for Utopic and went to go for my TTH. Bad on him, and knowing Onomats, they die by the normal summon unless they have Gagaga Wind. And he had a Buster, but he did not have a Gloves in the graveyard to make Buster useful. So, I just went OTK. Go Gloves into Subaba. Subaba revived the topic. Revive both the partnered Onomats into Samurai. Pitch Gloves. Revive Gloves, but he surrenders. I wanted to summon Utopia. I wanted to flex the animation. But no, this wuss surrendered. Fucking baby. That was pretty, something. I keep forgetting my matchups. I literally just did these. Well, oh yeah, I remember now. I went first, and I was thinking myself what to decide on. And I felt like, this is Yugi, likely could be Thunder Dragon, so I decided to go into Roach. But it wasn't. But I'm still right on calling on Roach because I also played EDDs and, well, they need a Synchro Summon. He didn't seem to draw a... Well, that's incorrect. He could have just Fusion Summoned Beast and not overextend. But apparently this guy is an idiot and walked into both my negate of Roach. He thought he could just get away. Or maybe he thought it was once per turn because apparently he had another wolf. So I negate it. Are people forgetting that Roach isn't once per turn? But yeah, sometimes you just see, sometimes when you know a possible matchup, the XCs can win you the game. And the good thing about Onomats is that they can really use that graveyard recursion. Sadly, it's still by the normal summon, but like I said, at least Go Giant at least activates on summon, which makes it a little bit better. And you know, we go into Sin. We detach Gloves. Well, we didn't even have to, yeah. No, I think we already used the Gloves effect. Yeah, and then we just go into Samurai for more damage to try to go lethal. So yeah. So that worked out. Sometimes these XCs are good. Like if it was For sure, Harpies, you know which one I was about to summon. Next, there's a lot of Jugies out here. Man, it's been over a year since I've been low rank after like a hiatus. Well over a year, dude. Like, I think this was when Mayakashis were new. So Thunder Dragons with the weirdest text ever. Maybe he's trying post-ban list. People don't okay, I wanted to mention this because some people think, oh, Solar Battery Man good in Thunder Dragons. That's extremely incorrect. The only reason Solar Battery Man was good in Thunder Dragons in the TCG is because they had their fusions. And what they did is that they go into a link through Thunder to then, because you know, token, and they just go into, and then they can use that Thunder to go into Colossus. That's literally what they did with Solar Battery Man. Because Aloof was always the better normal summon for gaining advantage. And, you know, Colossus being banned in TCG as well, that's so more true in TCG. But no, people just look at, Solar Battery Man was using Thunder Dragon in the TCG. Maybe it's good here too. No, not really. Especially with how small the starting hand is. You're unlikely to do something as good as this. But, again, don't rely on things like this. Aloof on one summon you gain advantage, while this probably needed something else to actually get that advantage off. Like, it's pretty bad. So I just go into Goku Giant, extend into another monster, IXC into Sen. I thought I had lethal, because I actually did, if it wasn't for a hand trap. Yay, we hate those. But yes, I was able to go into lethal because I go into Samurai, then I can summon Code. Maybe that's one of the main reasons I kept Samurai. I can attack. And this was actually enough damage for lethal. But nope, he had a Veil. I didn't felt the Veil, honestly, but either way, it was like I already committed as much as I did. Also, into Sin. Here comes Levy. He did not even D-drew this one, actually. He probably D-drew a different one, because, guess what? He had another Levy. He goes into Roar. Okay, now we got the draw, so we can draw into more things. And our TTH, saving our lives, we can go a little bit low in our resources. We keep Utopic on the field, we go into Roach, and we're just set the TTH and hope for the best. Once the battle phase, we just destroy it, extends into a Roar in defense, and then, yep. We go to the draw, decides to revive Roach. I go into Abyss Dweller, but I am confused with what's gonna happen. Yeah. I forgot that I was gonna get banished because of the trap. But if it wasn't for that, I would have lethal. Like, die already. Please, die. There's not even a good Thunder Dragon player, and that's like kinda what pisses me off. Should not really waste your levies knowing that there's a Roach. Stop doing that. Anyway, we go into Dweller, we don't want anything to float. And there we go, that is the end of it. Sometimes there are strong Xyz for certain matchups, but we need a good generic Xyz that is just like, not the best, but it's just good to always pass on. Anyway, where are we? One more replay, I believe, I don't know. One more Onomat replay? One more. Yep, okay, this is the last one. This is the last Onomat replay. I still just want to show off other replays. Balance. Oh yeah, this was Tri-Mids. So there we go, Tri-Mid. Thank God for Cosmo because I want to deal with back row more than anything, and thank God I did. It was a Pulse. Now we're gonna do the trick that I wanted to do. Go to Gogo Giant a 4K, and it will negate by losing exactly 1500. By the way, you don't choose to negate, it'll just negate straight up the first monster effect that your opponent activates. So yeah, he's gonna beat over what he can. He's gonna beat over the Onomat. Your topic. We have to pass because if I attack, he can force me to negate and I'll just destroy myself. But he quits on the TTH because he was completely unable to gain advantage because they need to cycle through field spell and gain advantage in order to win. We prevent him to do that, and that's how you win against that matchup with this deck. Also lucky that he didn't drew what's his name? A Sphinx. You have other replays here. Yeah, these ones aren't Onomats. These are other decks, but we're gonna still see them. Yes, I was using Resonators. As his Resonator, I finally got the deck and I still like it. I never really cared about Duelist. I saw, Resonators actually is cool. And yeah. Also, Fortune Lady is one of my favorite decks. It's the first deck I cogged with, actually. Way back before Xyz came in the game, actually. Like, a bit before. Dark Synchro into Glorious Waifu, Fortune Lady Every. To summon an even better waifu, Silent Magician. I respect this opponent so much, but it's unfortunate that we have to destroy her. Synchro Summon. Red Rising Dragon. Go into Red Resonator. Gain life points. Go into the Dark End. Send it to the graveyard. It won't float because it wasn't destroyed, and this is perfect neutral. Yeah, I'm sorry. I love your deck. I respect that you're a Fortune Lady player, but nah. I was feeling like a king that day. I was feeling too much like a king. Here's a Zuzu randomly. I think this was a Harpy matchup. Excuse me for not restricting myself in post banlist rules for this, but I'm gonna be real here. It's a Harpy player. I don't care. Like, impossible for me to say if she's cheating or not, depending on what card she has. I'm not risking it. If she's gonna play pre-banlist, then I'll play pre-banlist. It is rough, the whole skill change, because it makes it so you have to get like 2 Resonators in hand for combo, or at the very least already have drawn Wild Wind. And that's kind of rough, but I think you can manage, but it's fair that a deck should break every once in a while. I don't think it's that terrible, but you can be in situations where you can't do anything, and that's fine. Decks shouldn't have over 80% consistency. That's kind of unrealistic. We missed it. Yep, and yeah, look at that. It was pre-banlist Harpies, so we decided to sheet back. So that's what you get for being a cheater. And yep. And ending what is currently thought to be tier 1 because they did almost nothing to Harpies. I mean, they did what I wanted to do, but I am not gonna lie. They should have also hit Harpy's Hunting Ground. That's one of the most unfair field spells skills in the whole game, especially now. Into Channeler, but will negate the Channeler, and she does not have a Swallow's Nest to save it, and she surrenders like a wuss because people can't seem to comprehend that they need to stop playing these wuss really likes their pre-banlist decks, and they're all the way down here, desperate to climb. That is so sad. With that, I forgot where we were. Day 30. Other replays over here as well. I think these are the Magnet Warrior ones, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I was playing Magnet Warriors. Another deck I feel like talking about a bit. Just here, extra. Duel. This is an okay hand. I like playing 3 Rebirth and 3 Super Team because I feel like the best things about electromagnetic warriors is that you can just gain a lot of advantage by summoning your monsters on the opponent's turn and then on your turn. Although this is ice barriers, I don't know how interested you are in seeing a deck that does nothing. Me gaining advantage, I can fast forward this. It's a very nothing deck here. Very much nothing. I'm just doing. Look, I even went into this 91 Thunderspark. Popped the field spell out of spite, and yeah, it's a very nothing deck, dude. I think one electromagnetic. I think one magnet replay got deleted. Oof. A quattro. Anyway. Oh yeah, this was actually gimmick puppets, which is hilarious. So, this is a shit hand. The hand is pretty bad. But let's just show how bad gimmick puppets are, because it's so sad how bad they are. I'm sorry, but number 15 can only destroy special summoned monsters. Probably, I think you're looking for a card called Brain Control right in the corner, right? Anyway, he can't pop. He really should have summoned 2 of this one. Although it didn't matter because I can just take only full damage from one of them. And we do double summon here. We go into the field spell. Yep. Just extend, just keep searching more. Gaining advantage is so important in Duel. If any deck has any way of gaining or keeping advantage, they can cog no problem. Just have to know the matchup and work around stuff. Enemy controller garbage. Doesn't do anything in this situation, so just nuke field and win. Yeah. I would not really go all in. If it was against a good deck, I will probably savor it and still have Xyz and Magnets in the field. But yeah. One more replay. That's 10 replays. I don't know if you like my commentary format. I guess makes it engaging. Maybe people can take a note or two, despite being low rank. Duel! Hand's not too great, but hey. And we're up against Black Wings. To my biggest worry of them all is, yeah. I had to shotgun my Rebirth because if he changed to my super team, I won't get to have a good target. Goes into... forget the names. Raikiri. Yeah. I did that, and yep, he's gonna pop. Even though I didn't activate Super Team, that's fine, because I'll just get another shot. I'm just gonna activate the one I'm not keeping. Goes into Hidori. And I was pissed that this kill happened, but I survived by 200 points anyway. And he's an idiot for not attacking my magnets, because now I just get free XC. He's lucky I didn't have another level 4, because I would have been for Thunder Spark, and it's easier to wipe his field. But you know, Sin works too, and going into Berserkion. I didn't have to banish one temporarily, I should have destroyed him with both Berserkions. I sometimes do this just to have more monsters on field with Berserkion. And that's it. He missed lethal, and even though it's like the same monster on the field. I did all I could to gain advantage knowing that he can disrupt as some interactions I would attempt to do, so I did the best of the worst I could. In the end of the day, it worked out. It was only lucky that he could not lethal me though. With that, hope you enjoyed those, and I want to hear your thoughts on improving Onomat deck with and without post-banless Onomata play. Preferably, I want to see one using Sexal weapon, but whatever goes, whatever goes. I mean, the searching only happens once and is on the 3rd turn, and you know, that's fine, but I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts on this. With that, I think I'm just gonna sign out. See you in the next one.